Hi, I'm Harish Reddy and welcome to another live session. Today I'm going to talk about AWS migration strategies. So it's an interesting topic because I help a lot of customers migrate to AWS. So it's not something I invent. I created or something. This is AWS recommended strategies. I probably you already know, but I just want to go ahead and share it anyways so that you know what are the different options you have when you plan to migrate to AWS. So let's get started. So the objective for today's session is at the end of the session, you will know the 6 migration strategies that will help you decide if migrating to AWS is the best option. So that's the objective for today's session. And about me, as I said, Harish Gotedi, founder of Cloud Optimized Solutions. I have over 18 years in enterprise technology experience in enterprise technology. I work both on Azure and AWS. And after I moved back from the US, and started my own consulting. I started providing digital transformation services to SMEs in Canada, US, and India. Now I am becoming a AWS partner, and I want to fully dedicate my time in helping AWS customers and providing services to AWS customers. So that is a background, and let's dive into today's topic. So first, before we talk about the strategy, let's ask why do we want to migrate to AWS? Why do we want to do that? So predominantly after looking at so many migrations and stuff, and migrations and customers, AWS believe that there are only 3 reasons. All right, the first one is obvious cost savings. That is why most clients want to migrate. So cost savings is the first one. You can save a huge cost if you're running your workloads on AWS. The second one is improve agility. What I mean by that is fast testing an idea. Let's say you're a startup, you want to test an idea, or you're an established company and you want to innovate on a new idea. You can test it faster by using cloud services with AWS, because it offers so many types of services, serverless, big data, all that kind of stuff. If you want to do that on your own, build that kind of infrastructure, it's going to take forever. So faster testing of your ideas, and let's say your idea worked out, you have found a customer for it, you want to develop quickly and release your product. Again, faster development is also one main reason people want to migrate to AWS. So that's number two. Finally, business impact. What it really is, there is a significant impact to your business if you don't move to AWS, right? So that's, for example, if it is compliance, it may be data security. It could be any significant business reason that it is unique for your business that is driving your migration need. So there are 3 main reasons that you probably will migrate to AWS. So I'm curious to know which one is yours. So please leave a comment, and then I'd like to understand more about why you want to migrate. So yeah, just leave a comment on which one of these will be your reason to migrate to AWS. So next thing is this migration strategy. So they call it 6 R's. It's really six, there are 6 different strategies. One being the easiest and 6 being the most complex, right? So that's the hierarchy. So one is retain. So you don't, let's say you have an application that is working really well and you don't have any reason to migrate to AWS, nothing will change for it. So that is you're going to just keep it as is. That's retain. So you're not going to change anything about it. That's retain. Second thing is retire. So you have an old application. Let's say you have an old business system or business application that you don't want to move to AWS, and you can find new ways, or transfer your customers to something new. Then you just retire that application and associated infrastructure along with it. So that's number two. The third one is, let's say you have an application that's running, you just want to move it to AWS without changing anything. That is rehost, just basically what they call as lift and shift, right? So you lift it and shift it. Let's say you have it on VMware machines, just move it to AWS EC2 instances and set up databases and things like that. So that's a rehost. That's number three. The fourth one is a repurchase. Let's say you have, licensing. You have some license software licensing that is related to your CPUs or number of users or something. You negotiate, and you know that provider, your software vendor, is on AWS, so you go ahead and repurchase your licenses that is flexible with AWS. So that's number four. You basically repurchase your licensing, whether it is database, whether it is any kind of software, hardware. You just repurchase those licenses and run those workloads on AWS. So that is number four. Fifth one is a replatform. So you have some, let's say you have some you have applications running on your local infrastructure or local data center or local servers, and you want to make it, you want to go ahead and shift it to AWS cloud, and you want to basically, it's written in old programming languages or something like that, and you want to change it to something new, like make it serverless and something like that. That is, you basically re-platform your application. So that is a really a difficult thing, but can be done. So that's re-platform. Refactor is really completely changing your application or your system. Basically, you're changing. Let's say yours is complete running on EC2. Now you want to make it completely serverless, or something like that. Let's say you're not using any machine learning code in your previous version. Now you want to use it. So completely you're refactoring the application to run on AWS. So again, on the fourth one, I forgot to mention, the repurchase is really not just licensing. Let's say you want to get rid of it, get rid of the application, and you want to purchase a SaaS version of it or cloud native version of it on it that's available on AWS Marketplace. That's also applicable as a repurchase. That also falls under repurchase option. So that's for five. Replatform is really, again, even the SaaS versions come under replatform. You want to get rid of on-premise version of it and buy AWS Marketplace version of it, and then just go ahead and move your data. So those also fall in re-platform. Refactor is really redoing the whole application, which is really complicated and takes a significant amount of time, but users still do it, customers still do it, because the value that it delivers over a period of time is significant. If that is significant, then you can take that call. So these are the six migrations strategies. It's not something from me, it's an AWS, it comes from AWS, but I just want to emphasize and convey, share it with you. Now, the key is, doesn't matter you what happens is, if you look at your business, not just one strategy fits your entire business, right? So you may have to look into different one application or one business system at a time and see where this one fits. So that's really the portfolio discovery aspect of it, the discovery aspect, which that's the process, that's the process of migration, right? So like I shared in the earlier video, so in the discover phase, we'll understand what you want to migrate, what you don't want to migrate, and what strategy should be applied to that particular system or application. So that's where we come in, and to help you with those decisions, to help you with uh, with all complexities involved in trying to do that, and finally to get your migration done, validate it, and get it up and running, and train the users. So I hope this session is useful, and I'll talk more about the migration process, the iterative model, in the next session. Thank you. Thanks for watching.